Happy Monday, TV family. We're back. Hope you had a good weekend. It was a pretty nice weekend, very pleasant. A lot of people out and about, I noticed, especially on Saturday, but we're back at it. We're working. It's Monday. You know what that means. We're here, but we're not going to work real hard. Fourth day of August 2025. I'm Dan Coons. 64 degrees, a few high clouds, a little breezy today. Temperatures will be a little bit below normal. We hit 92 Saturday, 90 yesterday. Just a few degrees cooler than that 90-degree mark we're expecting today and tomorrow. Weak system rolls in the middle of the week, basically Tuesday night. It'll be here most of the day, Wednesday into Wednesday night. It exits Wednesday night. Thursday, we're only going to get to about 80 degrees on Thursday. Pretty cool. And then just in time for the weekend, whoop, we warm right back up again. That all-important weather forecast is coming up. We'll have the news. In sports, a very good weekend for the Seattle Mariners. They take 3 of 4 from the Texas Rangers. And in Boston, the Astros got swept by the Red Sox. The Mariners are within 2.5 games of Houston in the AL West. We'll have highlights of yesterday's game. A good game, big game for Julio Rodriguez. And speaking of baseball, the Apple Sox are in the playoffs. Make plans right now. They'll be playing at home on Friday night. Don't know who yet. There's still a lot of mixing and matching to go on as far as who's going to win the wild card, who's going to win the second half Northern Division title. That's still way up for grabs, but we made the playoffs, so we'll have that for you. And my conversation with Mike Malman, because Sir Wenatchee Valley is closed for the classroom event. Their first big event of the year is this Saturday at Columbia Grove Covenant Church in East Wenatchee, and I checked this morning just to make sure, and there are still a few more slots available to get your kids signed up. They can always use volunteers. It's a big event. It's 1,000 kids. So we'll talk about that with Mike Malman in the back half of the program. It is time to take our tours. Let's see what cameras have in store for us today. Looking pretty good. By the way, Kashmir, I was a little curious. I checked the air quality index this morning, the AQI. Kashmir is right now at 53. That's moderate. Everybody else is in pretty good shape. So we have a little dirty air from some wildfires, a couple up in the Omak, Okanagan area, a couple up in British Columbia, and one in the Olympic National Forest. But it's not bad. I mean, 53, and most people can handle that. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley. Yeah, 92 Saturday, 90 on Sunday. Won't get to 90 today. Our normal high starting today is now 89 as the days get shorter. As we transition to camera number 2, by shorter, I mean this. Sunrise this morning was at 5:43. Sunset 8:30 tonight. So 14 hours and 46 minutes. That's 2 minutes and 45 seconds shorter than it was yesterday. We're off to our second camera, I think. There we go. Bear Mountain, Lake Chelan. Good morning to you. It's good to see you. That is pointed up lake towards Holden Village, towards Lucerne, towards Stehekin. Beautiful view there from Bear Mountain. I wonder why they call it Bear Mountain. My guess is there's bears up there. Well, if you were a bear, I think that's probably where you'd want to live. I'm not a bear. I wouldn't know. Our third camera takes us to up to Bittigoat. Now, you can see the smoke there. There's 2 fires burning in the Omak area. It's not that big, but it is threatening some homes. They're working on it. They're dumping retardant. And there's also a smaller fire on the other side of that ridge in the Methow Valley area. So that's the smoke that you see from last I checked, it's about 500 acres. A fire that broke out on late Saturday afternoon, not far from Omak, pretty close to town, but they're working on it. That's what they do. Camera number 4. Lake Wenatchee again, a little breezy there. Now keep in mind that's an exposed ridge, so it has a tendency to be a little breezy. Hopefully the lake isn't too choppy for you anglers out there fishing for that sockeye. Outside of that, that's just a gorgeous, gorgeous view. Far right-hand corner of your screen, you can see just a little sliver of Fish Lake, and you can see, of course, at the bottom of the lake where the Wenatchee River begins its journey to the Columbia. Pretty nice. No slides to show for you today. We'll jump right into it. From the National Weather Service, your forecast looks like this. So cooler today. It's going to be breezy. Pretty consistent west wind, about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Gusts around 20, so not really windy. We'll call it breezy, with a high of about 85 degrees. Winds will die down a little bit tonight, not much, but a little bit. 62 for the overnight low. Very little wind on Tuesday, lots of sunshine. If you like that temperature right in that mid-80 wheelhouse, so it's pleasant but not too hot. Tuesday is your day, because Tuesday night a system comes through. It's going to cool us down. It's going to cloud us up a little bit. By the time you go to bed Tuesday night, it will be cloudy and it will be breezy, 65 for the overnight low. Partly sunny Wednesday. We'll have some clouds in the morning, some sun breaks in the afternoon. Cooler still, high of only 83 degrees. Slight chance of some light rain late Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday night, and then that chance goes away to about nothing. Thursday, the coolest day of the week with a high of 81, and then we go right back up the ladder again. Very little wind for the long-term forecast for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as high pressure rebuilds, and we'll have lots of sunshine and highs back up into the 90s as we get deeper into August. That's your forecast from the National Weather Service. In 2 minutes from our newsroom, the news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. TourMosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
High clouds, 64 degrees, mid-80s today. Not too bad, a little breezy. Very little wind at all on Tuesday, mid-80s again. We're going to cloud up a little bit Tuesday night, Wednesday. Thursday looks quite pleasant, and then here comes the heat again, just in time for the weekend. It's 8 minutes after the hour. East Wenatchee Police responding to a report of gunshots on Thursday night found a bullet-riddled pickup truck apparently damaged in an exchange of gunfire. Happened at about 9:30 on Thursday night near the intersection of 3rd Street Northeast and North Georgia Avenue. Witnesses said they saw the dark-colored truck driving past a nearby residence when shooting broke out. It then sped away towards Grant Road. Police later found it abandoned in the 1300 block of Clemens Circle. A search at the residence there turned up bullets embedded in both the interior and exterior of the residence, with spent shell casings and live ammunition also recovered. Police are asking anybody with additional information to contact their department. Federal aviation investigators say the Cessna pilot may have been attempting a landing when the small plane he was piloting crashed into a home Wednesday near the Kashmir airport. In an email to NCWLIFE, the National Transportation Safety Board says the Cessna 182Q Skylane appeared to miss its landing at the Kashmir Dryden Airport just before embedding itself in the attic of the house on Tigner Road. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office says the two occupants of the plane are now in stable condition with serious injuries at Confluence Health Hospital. In Wenatchee, they have yet to be publicly identified. Nobody in the house was injured. The plane is registered to an owner in Bonnie Lake. It was removed, by the way, from the structure of the house on Thursday. An NTSB spokesperson says the wreckage will be held in a secure facility for investigation. Well, if you visit the Chelan County Commissioner's offices on Douglas Street, you're going to have to find a different way to get into the building. They announced a temporary closure of the Douglas Street side of the entrance to the County Administrative Building. The front steps are deteriorating. Parts of the concrete approaching the main entrance have begun to crumble, so in the meantime, the Administrative Building can still be accessed by the steps or the ramp on the Washington Street side. The county says it's working on a temporary fix to the steps, but a more permanent solution may take a few weeks. U.S. Representative Kim Schreier has published a letter calling on the United States Department of Agriculture and the U.S. Forest Service to increase staffing at the Enchantments Wilderness. In February, 3,400 Forest Service employees were laid off, including nearly 40 employees of the Okanagan and Wenatchee National Forest. In Schreier's letter, she says the enchantments are staffed with just one employee, and that's resulted in overflowing toilets, a lack of capacity to enforce burn bans, and reduced effectiveness in search and rescue efforts. Schreier says the National Forest could use grant funding to hire employees at the enchantments, but the hiring freeze is preventing access to those dollars. She asks Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins and U.S. Forest Service Chief Tom Schultz to take action to free up the funding to address the staffing shortage at the enchantments. Environmental education nonprofit Sustainable NCW is one of over 20 recipients of a grant to help reduce sources of air pollution in highly impacted communities. The Washington Department of Ecology offered $10 million in air quality on overburdened communities grant awards to organizations statewide. Both the cities of Wenatchee and East Wenatchee were identified by the Department of Ecology as overburdened communities due to frequent wildfire smoke activity and high rates of poverty, asthma, and lack of insurance. Sustainable NCW was awarded about $213,000 to help pay for community engagement, a bike repair mobile trailer, and educational workshops. The grant recipients will complete their projects over the next couple of years. And sisters Deborah Waymeyer and Cindy Cordell opened Bella Sarah Bridal, a wedding dress and tuxedo shop in downtown Wenatchee, 17 years ago. However, after Cindy's passing in 2021, running the business just hasn't been the same for Deborah. Our own Casey Safford spoke with Deborah about the legacy of her store and her recent decision to retire and sell the business by the end of this month.
Yeah, it started off as just a fun side project, actually. My sister, she's very, very creative. She loved bridal, and she used to do catering with her daughter, and I thought, hey, this would be fun to do maybe the clothing side of it. So we decided to take off to Vegas to a bridal expo there, and we sat through a million fashion shows, and then we just kind of took it from there. I think we started off with 6 dresses and not even a rack. We started out of Cindy's home, actually, for the first probably couple of years, right under a couple of years. And then it started getting busier and busier. And we're like, well, wait a minute, this is like a real job, you know, but it's been really fun, and it has grown a lot, you know, because we got this place about 2 years after we started, and it was a mess. We had to come in and redo the whole thing. It had been empty for a couple years, and I think before that it had been an antique shop. And my husband spent like a week taking nails out of the walls, you know, to get ready to paint and everything. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was just something that started off as just a little idea, and she was the main, I was just her little sidekick, you know, helping along as we did things, and it just kind of grew and grew from there.
So with so many years of experience now under your belt, go ahead and tell us what you think the biggest lesson is you've learned along the way.
Patience, for sure. Patience with the girls. You know, you're thinking, oh my gosh, some of them will try on 2 dresses and know what they want, but some of them will try on 30 dresses and still don't know what they want. So you just want to be patient with them and let their experience happen, because that's a big deal to them, to have their moment, you know, their bridal moment. This is the most important day of their life, and so you have to be patient and let them go through that process. And it is fun to watch them, you know, go through all the process and then finally find the gown that they really love. So boys, you have to be patient with them on a daily, because That's just, some of the boys have never even put on a suit in their life or a tuxedo in their life, but we were always joking that we could put 5 bridal dresses on by the time one guy figured out how to put his suit on, but they're a lot of fun.
In what ways would you say the bridal industry has changed over the years?
Oh, well, it's interesting in bridal because what is in style one season may not be in style for 5 or 6 seasons down the road, but they always kind of come around, back around again. 1 year it's sleeves, the next 2 years, oh, no sleeves, Yeah.
All right, well, now let's go ahead and discuss your upcoming retirement.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about what factors led to that decision.
Oh, well, I probably should have retired about 5 years ago, but then when Cindy passed, I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to keep it going for a little while and then sell it if possible. Well, it was listed at $299. That is very flexible. I am actually considering any reasonable offer. If it sells, that's wonderful. If it doesn't, then that's okay too, because we had a wonderful time doing it.
And you are in the loop of what's going on around here on this Monday. And if you want to keep that momentum going, we highly recommend you watch the news. The NCWLIFE Evening News at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. 5, 6, and 10 on television. The traditional way of consuming our programming is if you cable or whatever the case may be, but a lot of people don't. We get it. So we put our newscast on the internet. It'll be posted on our homepage, ncwlife.com, right around 5 o'clock. Same time for our posting on our YouTube page, whichever way you want to watch it. And we'll put a link to our newscast on our Facebook page. If you have a news tip, get a hold of us. Love to hear from you. News at ncwlife.com. It's not how, it's how many. The Mariners are making a playoff push. The Apple Sox don't have to worry about it. They're in. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Oh, happy day, Wenatchee Valley. Collins Fashions is looking forward to our famous summer weather. We are fully stocked with shorts, capris, skirts, tees, and tanks. Summer dresses have all arrived in many styles and colors. Special occasion dresses are on full display, and we have something for everyone. Collins is your Brighton headquarters with jewelry, handbags, charms, and sunglasses. We invite you to visit Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
"19 minutes after the hour, sports. Julio Rodriguez homered to become the first player in Major League history with 20 or more home runs and 20 or more stolen bases in each of his first 4 seasons. And on top of that, the Mariners beat the Rangers 5-4 yesterday at T-Mobile Park. With the Red Sox sweeping the Astros over the weekend, the Mariners are now 2.5 games back of first in the AL West.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Polanco DHing today. Out to right field. It is back, and he's taken DeGrom deep for the second time this year.
Goldie, that pitch was, yes, it was middle, but it's still 99 with 2 strikes against Jacob deGrom with some of the nasty stuff in the game. Tell you what, Polanco is red hot right now.
Number 18 this year for Jorge. What a wild year it's been for Polanco, huh?
Absolutely.
Seager, a home run in 3 of the last 6 games against Seattle. And there's a swing and a high fly ball center field. Takes Rodriguez back near the wall. He'll leap, and that one is gone. 16th of the year for Seager, and he's got the Rangers in front 2-1. That's good timing, Corey.
Momentum shift. Rodriguez looked like he had a beat on it, but it was a little bit too far to his right. Rangers take the lead.
That brings up Julio with the tying run aboard. Julio cracks this high the opposite way. It is back in, and it's gone! Julio! Career home run number 100. And it comes off one of the game's greats in Jacob deGrom. Julio Rodriguez, the first ever in baseball history to begin a career with 4 consecutive 2020 seasons.
Base hit would tie the game. Rowdy lifts it out to left field. Rosarena going back. Ball seems to be carrying today. That one's off the fence. And Rosarena stays down. In to score Garcia. And Rowdy Tellez ties the game at 3 with a double.
Great 2-out hitting here. Rowdy goes with the pitch the other way. Randy Rosarena was not comfortable going back on that ball. Gets over his glove, and a huge RBI double.
Keeps the inning alive for J.P. Crawford. High drive, right field, does it have it? It has it, and it's gone! J.P. Crawford with a go-ahead blast with 2 outs in the 4th inning.
I'll tell you what, Goldie, the Mariners are teeing off on Jacob deGrom, and they're able to recognize some of the breaking pitches and the changeup. JP just gears up for it. A swing.
First time this year deGrom has given up 3 homers in a start. Julio staying busy. Julio tracking this. Julio makes the catch.
I tell you what, he is just highlight reel this entire series against the Texas Rangers, just wearing out that gap out there in left center field. He's covering everything. Nice play, timed that up.
Garcia in the air out to left field. That ball's carrying well. That ball's gone. Garcia's 3 for 3 today. That's his 16th home run of the year, and he's made it a 1-run game.
How about Adolis hitting the breaking ball down the middle? Hits it well. Not sure. We know Adolis when he knows he got it. He'll stay there for a while. Wasn't sure. That one gets over the fence.
Well, they're on their feet now. Rangers down to their final out on a huge throw from Cal Raleigh. That is it. Munoz strikes out Langford, and the Mariners win it. They have taken the series. They win 3 out of 4 against the Texas Rangers and are within 2.5 games of the Houston Astros.
Julio Rodriguez spoke with Jen Mueller of Root Sports after the game about his historic afternoon.
Julio, that blast you had in the 3rd inning, it is a milestone for a couple of reasons, but first, what'd you like about the opposite field smash?
I mean, it was awesome, you know, like to be able to do it here in front of the fans. You know, definitely they brought their energy. I was able to give something back for them, so that was huge.
I also feel like you know exactly what the... So now wait a minute. Did you know what that home run meant?
I for sure knew. As soon as I hit it, I was like, come on, get up. And, you know, I was able to contribute in the offense on that and turn the game around, too.
Now, are you talking about the fact that it was career home run number 100 or the fact that you were the only player in Major League Baseball history to start a career with 4 straight 2020 seasons? Which one was it?
I knew that fact But it was pretty cool for a kid from Loma de Cabrera to be able to do it in this stage. You know, it was pretty good moment for me too and my family.
You came up big with some defense in this series. 5th inning today. You're part of a quick 1-2-3. How important is that to get the shutdown inning after taking the lead?
I mean, you know, it was huge. You know, I feel like I take a lot of pride to be able to play defense for the boys back there. And, you know, every time I can make a play and cut out the inning, I feel like it's always huge.
I'm going to let you go in just a second, but did you notice that it was Victor Robles who did the honors? And here's why I think that's significant. We haven't seen him do much with that shoulder. What does that tell you about how his rehab's going?
Oh, he's definitely feeling great. He's always busting around in the clubhouse. You know, it's always great to see him. I'm excited to see him playing right field for us, too.
Mariners are off today. They deserve it. They've played 17 games in 17 days. Today they get to play golf. And the White Sox come to town tomorrow for the first of 3 games. Brian Wu will face Davis Martin. To the scoreboard we go. Again, the Mariners knocking off the Rangers. The Mariners are now 2.5 back of the Astros. The Rangers fall to 4.5 back of Houston. Red Sox swept the Astros all 3 games over the weekend. Thank you very much, Boston. The Angels remain 8 games back. They beat the White Sox, who are coming to Seattle, and the Athletics, well, they're the Athletics. Well, the Wenatchee Apple Sox, they dropped 2 of 3 to Bellingham at home over the weekend, but it didn't matter. They clinched a playoff spot with their 5-4 win on Saturday night. So the Sox wrap up their regular season with 3 games in Kelowna starting tonight, and then they'll host a playoff game on Friday night against whom? We don't know yet. There's still a lot of moving parts on who will play, but we do know we will host a game. The Apple Sox will Friday night in the WCL playoffs. And to the scoreboard we go. Victoria knocked off Port Angeles. Right now, Victoria and Edmonton are neck and neck and who's going to win the second half title. Whoever wins the second half title will be the number 2 seed. The other team will be a wild card seed as well as the number 3 seed. Right now, as things stand, it looks like it's probably going to be Wenatchee against Bellingham, but again, we don't know yet. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. 3 obscure holidays. Today is Single Working Women's Day, and there's a lot of them. Today is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Maybe I should have done that, but no, today we celebrate the 235th birthday of the Coast Guard. Happy birthday to the Coast Guard, originally called the Revenue Cutter Service because in 1790, when the Coast Guard was founded, they had just passed a bunch of tariffs. And the biggest problem with enforcing tariffs on other countries is enforcing tariffs on other countries. So they started the Revenue Cutter Service to make sure that they were paying their tariffs, and then of course it would become the United States Coast Guard, which is the only branch of the military that does not belong to the Defense Department. It is an arm of the Department of Homeland Security. And before the Department of Homeland Security was established in 2002, the Coast Guard was part of the Department of Transportation. And before that, when it was founded, because it was supposed to enforce tariffs, it was the part of the Treasury Department. However, during a declared war, the Department of Defense can take operational control of the Coast Guard. That's happened only one time. That was in World War I. By the time we declared war in World War II, Roosevelt had already moved the Coast Guard to the Navy. So it operates under the Department of Homeland Security during peacetime, can be transferred to the Navy by the President at any time or by the Congress during a declared war. And according to the U.S. Coast Guard Boating Resource Center, on an average day, the Coast Guard conducts 109 searches and rescues. They save about 10 lives. They seize 169 pounds of marijuana and 306 pounds of cocaine worth about $10 billion. And they investigate about 6 casualties during their jurisdiction on a typical day in the Coast Guard, who was 235 years old today. It's the bottom of the hour. Today in history. 1889 had a lot of fires in our state. There was the Great Fire of Seattle, which destroyed downtown Seattle. There was the Great Fire of Ellensburg, which devastated Ellensburg to the point that they weren't going to be considered for the state capital anymore. Ellensburg was supposed to be the state capital, then it burned to the ground in 1889, so they decided on Olympia, much less prone to fires. And then Spokane had their Great Fire, August 4th, 1889. 32 blocks of downtown Spokane. It was known at the time as Spokane Falls. And then they just rebuilt it. It began a little after 6 o'clock on the night of August 4th. Because of technical problems with the pump station, there was no water pressure in the city when the fire started. That's not good. They ended up doing what they would normally do. They blew up buildings in order to starve the fire. Eventually, the winds died down. The fire burned itself out. And as a result of the fire, virtually all of Spokane's downtown was destroyed and rebuilt, although just one person was killed. And by the way, they never did figure out what caused the Great Spokane Fire of 1889. Happy 67th birthday to the Billboard Hot 100. Billboard magazine publishes its first Hot 100 on August 4th, 1958. The most 100 most popular songs in America. The old saying was, it ain't number one till it's number one in Billboard. It was 3 charts that they combined into one. Before that, there were 3 charts that they published: top sellers, most played on the radio, and most played on jukeboxes. They just combined them all to call the Billboard Hot 100. And as you can see, the very first number 1 hit on the very first Hot 100, Poor Little Fool by Rick Nelson. 61 years ago today, the American people were lied to in a big way. The U.S. destroyers, the USS Maddox and the USS Turner Joy, report that they had come under attack in the Gulf of Tonkin. Well, we found out when the documents were unclassified 20 years ago, it was confirmed, but a lot of people thought anyway that it actually never did happen. They simply made it up. But the outcome of this little incident became the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution. That's when the Congress said, Lyndon, you get to do pretty much whatever you want to do. Officially, the Gulf of Tonkin Resolution says that the president can do anything he wants if he believes a country in Asia is jeopardized by, quote, communist aggression, and that was the legal justification for deploying U.S. forces and open warfare against North Vietnam. Of course, it didn't happen. 45 years ago today, the Seattle Mariners fire manager Darryl Johnson and replace him with Maury Wells, who would go down in history as the worst manager in modern Major League Baseball history. Maury Wells, to the Mariner beat writers one time, praised his center fielder as the center fielder of the future of the franchise. He had forgot that Leon Roberts had been traded to the Texas Rangers 8 days earlier. Maury Wells once cheated by ordering the grounds crew to make their batter's box 1 foot longer than regulation. When you do that, you're going to get caught. He was suspended 2 games and fined $500. During spring training in 1981, he left in the middle of the game to fly to Los Angeles to participate in a celebrity charity golf match. Maury Wells, as the manager of the Mariners, once made up a lineup card that had 2 guys playing third base and nobody playing center field. That's not going to work. And on more than one occasion, came out to the mound to call in a relief pitcher from the bullpen without having any relief pitcher warming up in the bullpen. He did that more than once. I'm amazed he lasted as long as he did. They finally came to their senses and fired him the next year. And speaking of baseball, 43 years ago today, August 4th, 1982, Joel Youngblood of the New York Mets drives in the winning run. They beat the Cubs in Chicago 7-4. During the 4th inning, he is informed that he had been traded to the Montreal Expos, who were playing in Philadelphia. So he flies from Chicago to Philadelphia, goes into the game in the 6th inning for the Expos, and hits a base hit. Joel Youngblood then became the only player, and is still the only player, to have a hit for 2 different teams in different cities on the same day. It's hard to do. Birthdays. One heavenly birthday. What Chuck Berry is to rock and roll, Louis Armstrong is to jazz. He didn't invent jazz, but he came pretty close to doing it. One of the giants, and not just jazz, but music, period, the legendary Louis Armstrong. Born in the state in 1901. He didn't know when he was born. He was born in New Orleans at the turn of the century, and back then they didn't keep real good records, so he just made up his birthday. He said, I was born on July 4th, 1900. Sounds cool, doesn't it? It was not until the mid-1980s, about 15 years after he died, that his true birth date of August 4th, 1901 was discovered by Tad Jones, who was writing a biography of Louis Armstrong. He went through the baptismal records, and they found his baptismal certificate that had his real birth date on it. The 44th President of the United States, we always do presidents, Barack Obama, is 64 years old today. His first job in high school as a teenager growing up in Hawaii, he worked at a Baskin-Robbins. And from that point forward, he has never liked ice cream. Barack Obama is 64 years old today. Say what you will about Roger Clemens, who's 63 years old today. I know he's a very controversial figure, but the man won 7 Cy Young Awards, 7, more than any other pitcher, and he has a claim to be the greatest right-hand pitcher of all time. He is 63. And happy birthday to Clarkie, Chris Clark, from the Wenatchee Wild. He's now in the front office and digging it. Happy 43rd to Clarkie. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsor. Mike Minotti has a question. What if God had a Facebook page? I checked. He doesn't. And then Mike Malman from Serve Wenatchee Valley, the Chief Hope Officer, will tease you about the big event this Saturday, Close for the Classroom. Michael, join me when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Such a good time together, and it's only just begun. Got loud guitars, a little out of tune, but they ain't got a girl like you. And I know I'm all over the road. I can't help but go. Little bit of left, little bit of right. It's hard to...
Whether you're a new homeowner or looking to update, Save Mart in Wenatchee has everything you need. From top-of-the-line appliances to comfy mattresses and stunning furniture that fits your style, they have it all under one roof. With great deals and expert customer service, you'll find the perfect pieces for your space and your budget. Save Mart, your local destination for quality appliances, mattresses, and furniture at prices you'll love.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. And I was once asked, in the world's history, what group of people have been the most persecuted and oppressed? And I said the Jews. And although I was close, I wasn't correct. The right answer is women. Throughout human history, often unfortunately supported by a misogynist interpretation of Scripture, women have been oppressed, abused, and relegated to a subservient position in our society. Now, although this situation has improved, this insecure, male-driven attitude still continues, and what also continues is the oppression of our female counterparts is often blamed on God, who would be posting shaking my head on Facebook if God actually had a Facebook account. He doesn't, does he? This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. The Comedy of Errors is this year's short Shakespearean production at the Riverside Playhouse. A cast of 59 local youths ages 1 to 17 will take the stage. Tickets can be had at the Numerica Pack box office. This year's Hot August Nights production is Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, the musical, running through August 16th at the Numerica Pack. Produced by Jamie Donegan and directed by Christina Capehart. For tickets, go to the Numerica Pack website.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers. Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
It's hard to believe, but the school year is less than a month away. I know the Wenatchee School District starts on the 27th of August. I think Eastmont, Mike Nauman, is right around that time. Usually they like to line up the school years together, so they're running sequentially, Eastmont and Wenatchee. And Eastmont and Wenatchee students, every student, but specifically students between kindergarten and 8th grade in the Eastmont and Wenatchee school districts, it's that time of the year. Again, this is our second visit with Mike Nauman, the Chief Hope Officer of Serve Wenatchee Valley Close for the Classroom, Saturday, August 9th. First of all, we're taping this on Thursday, the 31st. So the first thing I did is I hit register on your website today. Looks like you still have some openings as of now.
I think, as I checked before I came here, I think we have 17 openings left.
Okay.
So those could be gone at any moment.
Okay, so heads up on that. If you haven't registered yet, do it right now, or at least go to it, because it's limited to 1,000 kids.
1,000 kids.
Even though the demand is more, has there been any thought, Mike, about just making it bigger? It's big enough as it is, but could you make it to 1,200 or 1,500?
That will be something we'll have to evaluate down the road. You know, we're seeing a growth in all of the services we provide for a variety of reasons, I think. This is our biggest one-day event of the year. And so it may be something we take a look at. We've talked about it. We kept it at 1,000 this year. It's a monster at 1,000. And so, but we do want to, you know, one of the things we want to do at Serve Wenatchee is communicate if there is somebody in need in our community. We want to take care of them.
And they deserve to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Everybody everybody deserves that.
Well, and especially children, right? I mean, children, you know, you get these kids that go off to school and they're sort of the haves and the have-nots, and we really believe that every kid should get to go to school on that first day of school, not in, you know, 8-year-old hand-me-downs, but rather in a new pair of clothes they've selected. We've said it before, self-esteem is deeply connected to performance in the classroom.
We know that for a fact.
And so this is just a way for these kids, these younger kids, 8th grade on down, to really get to go to school in a new pair of clothes, new pair of shoes that they've picked out.
It's everything. It's shoes, socks, pants, shirts.
Shirts,
Yep. So it's really what they deserve. Quite frankly, I mean, who's kidding who, Mike? While I have here, there's a basic human right to eat, to have clothes, to have shelter. These are just basic human rights that everybody should have.
And they're things that we're involved with. And you know, the thing about Serve is that what's raised here stays here. We receive no government funding. So this is a valley-wide event for valley-wide people. A lot of working poor families who work in industries where they're not paid enough probably to live in this valley, which is becoming increasingly expensive for many people. So for us, it's an opportunity to bless people. Do it. We're a Christian organization. We do this because we believe that it's what Jesus would want us to do. And so we serve them, bless them, and get this material, get these clothes, get food, get furniture in their hands.
Assuming that by the time this interview with Mike Melman airs, that registration will be closed, they'll be full, they'll be at the 1,000 kids. You can always use volunteers, because we're talking about 1,000 kids in a 4-hour or so time window, right?
Yeah. We start at 8, we're done at noon. It takes about 100 volunteers to pull this off. We also have volunteers at Columbia Grove, where it's being hosted this year off of the Sunset Highway there. We have them there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, getting everything set up, laid out on tables. So we really need volunteers all week. You can go to servewenatchee.org, click on Clothes for the Classroom, click on Volunteer. There's a few spots available. We really love Spanish-speaking folks to come and partner with us, because a lot of the folks that come through are speaking Spanish, and it's really helpful. But we want to put a personal touch and make sure everybody is treated with dignity and greeted and loved during their time there. We're going to have some great side activities this year going on. For folks after they go through clothes. We've got the Bighorns are going to be there doing some basketball stuff. The Wild's going to have their street hockey out there. Walt the Wolf's going to be there. We've got a number of other vendors, all of them with kid-friendly activities and some prizes to give away for families that come through.
And Columbia Grove Covenant Church gives you the sizable campus that one needs to do it. You got some parking, you got lots of green lawn space. You need that kind of footprint to pull this off. And Pastor Andrew was like, I'm in.
First off, partnering with churches is a priority for us because we're a Christian organization, and putting the face of the church on this is a big deal to us. That said, when you start to say you're committed to doing it at churches, we're really limited in terms of the number of churches in this community that can host this event, just because of the scope of it. So we're really grateful for Pastors Andrew and Paul out there, and just the graciousness that they've shown us in blessing this community in Jesus' name. So it's a big deal.
We were going to have Pastor Andrew on the show, but believe it or not, even though it's the dog days of summer, he's busy too. I guess the Lord's work never ends in that respect.
He's always got something going on.
How can we make this a bigger thing? How can we make it, open it up to all the school districts? It has been just for schools, for kids K through 8 in the Wenatchee and Eastmont school districts. How do we get the other outlying school districts involved? How do we make this a bigger and bigger and bigger event so it benefit everybody who needs your help for Clothes for the Classroom? How do we make this a bigger event?
Well, there's a couple things. One is we would have to expand the hours because one of the things that has been very helpful to us is having folks make reservation, because it means, I looked at the forecast. I think the 10 days says it's going to be 95.
It's going to be nice
on the night. Yeah. But we don't want 1,000. Well, it's actually more like 2,000, 2,500 people standing in a line for 4, 5, 6 hours. So the pre-reserved space. So we'd have to stretch it out. And then the big one for us on this one is raising money. And we have to pay for it. We purchase all these clothes. We get great discounts on them. But we're essentially, remember, at the end of the day, if you think about it, we're dressing a kid for $37. That means 2 shirts, pair of jeans, pair of socks, brand new pair of shoes. All of it brand new. $37. That's almost impossible to do. We actually increased I think we went up $2 this year. And we're going to be barely in on being able to meet that. We saw some significant cost increases this year. We're still actually looking for money. We're a little bit shy of our goal right now. And so fundraising is a big thing for this. It costs us $30,000. It may cost a little bit more this year, but we're about $3,000 short right now. So we're really close. Next
you donate $100, you're dressing 3 kids.
Yep.
And $37 is still a pretty good deal.
Oh, it's incredible.
And how can you get that kind of deal? What kind of strings are pulled to dress a kid for $37?
We have just some great partners in this valley. We have a volunteer. Her name is Amy Depew. She is always looking for the deal. We've had great help from Old Navy, which sort of gives us first in line for discontinued items and items that are going out on the massive discontinued shelf. I would give a shout out to Stan's Mary Mart that had to do some quick changes for this year because of some changes in the shoes relating to tariffs and some cost increases. They were able to work a deal for us.
And Stan's has been with you guys from the beginning. From Close the Classroom, they were one of the original folks.
They've been spectacular to us. So it's really Amy keeping her eye out there, working some deals for us. And like I say, show me anywhere where you can get 2 shirts, a pair of pants, socks, and brand new shoes, all brand new for $37. So like $100. So if we had 30 people go to our website, servewenatchee.org, give $100. We're there.
How close are we to making your nut? So
I looked this morning. I think the goal is 37, and I think we're just bumping 34 this morning. So we got a week and a half to go.
Well,
so,
I better get online.
Get online and make that donation. You're blessing kids in our valley. Every dollar gets spent here. All of the clients are from here. It's a great deal.
Next up is Coats for Kids, October-ish, I want to say?
Make a Difference Day. I don't have the exact date on that, but it's a Saturday in October. That's a big one for us. And here's what I'd say on that one. And I'm learning this. I'm only a year in. I'm a year and a half in. And I would say that one of the things we've learned last year, and we're learning through Coats for the Kids, is coat donations have gone down a little bit. Cash donations have gone up significantly to that. So we were able to do it last year. And we saw a 200% increase from the school districts and what they're requesting from Serve Wenatchee. We go to the schools. We call all the schools, what do you need in terms of coats? They tell us. That number went up by 200 last year. But here's the challenge. People love buying coats for little kids. We really need adult coats for teenagers. And so if people are looking to join us in that endeavor this year, if you've got quality used, you want to go down to Burlington or one of the other retailers and buy some quality coats. Adult sizes are actually a big deal to us because we got high schoolers that need jackets.
Sure.
And this is that's the size they wear. So everybody wants to get that cute little kid coat with a dinosaur on the front of it, but we really need sort of hip older kid jackets.
Think about it this way, folks. If you buy a jacket for a kid, for Coats for Kids, by the way, it's Saturday the 25th of October. You buy a coat for a kid who's 6 years old and he puts it on in October. That might not fit him in March.
You know how they grow.
Sure.
They're ruthless that way.
But for 17-year-olds, it's probably going to fit them.
They're going to last them for a while. Yeah.
So again, Coats for Kids is on Make a Difference Day, Saturday the 25th, in Baskets for Blessings, which we'll get together again for that, obviously, at hopefully a grocery outlet again, if they're on board.
They're on board.
Whoever it will be.
And Grocery Outlet is phenomenal to us. The Wenatchee Avenue Grocery Outlet does a lot for us.
One last question for you before I cut you loose. You guys, when you guys get together, have your little coffee clatches, you and Pastor Andrew, and I know you guys have regular meetings and just talk. Nothing informal. Just what are you guys talking about? About just how's biz and the faith world all together, or what can we do? Or?
The pastors I meet with are a great group of men and women, and I think what we're really talking about when we get to, we're going to restart them in the fall here. We've been doing actually a monthly pastors gathering. And now we've opened it up beyond just pastors to other pastors and leaders in the community, in Christian organizations. And what we've been doing as a part of that is bringing in a community leader or community leaders to come talk to us about what our community needs and how can we pray for the community. So we've had both mayors in, we've had both police chiefs in, we've had both school superintendents in. And so I think the conversation among these pastors is how can we bless as Christian churches in our community, how can we meet needs in our community? How can we bless our community? If you're an organization that would like to come address pastors, reach out to me at mike@servewenatchee.org, and we'll maybe platform you there, because we want to see if there are needs in our valley, how can we meet those needs? But how can we pray for those needs, and how can we bless those people?
One last thing, and I mention this every time I see Pastor Mike, Chief Hope Officer of Serve Wenatchee Valley. If you go to the website, you can sign up for just a monthly donation. It comes right out of whatever account you choose. It's completely secure. Every month, say, they just take $25 out of your account. You don't even think about it, and $25, $50, it goes a long way in your line of work, doesn't it?
It's huge, and it's the small donor base that really carries us. And it's dependable money. These are, in terms of purchasing power right now, we're seeing some challenges there with a lot of people, particularly the lower end of the wage scale. So our general fund, we're really calling it our Campaign for Hope, is the way we pay the bills. It's flexible money. If we need to do more in housing one month and less in food 1 month, we have that flexibility. It's a blessing. The need is great. The Wenatchee Valley is a place that takes care of its own.
Yes,
always
it does.
Has, always will. And I like to think of us as one of there's a lot of great organizations in town, but we just love serving Wenatchee. And you can help us out. Those small monthly donations really add up. You got 10 people doing them. We're feeding a lot of people. We're providing rental assistance for a lot of people.
And while you're on the website making your donation, sign up for the newsletter. It's always the monthly newsletter. It's always inspirational. Yeah. It's great stories about the people who have benefited, and they almost, the vast majority, I know a great number of your volunteers, Mike, over the years, are folks who came to serve Wenatchee Valley in need. That need was taken care of. They have now rebuilt to a point where they can now come and help you out.
We have some donors. Yeah, significant donors who actually one time walked in to serve Wenatchee and were blessed.
The best place is they go from clients to volunteers and donors.
It's amazing.
There you go. Mike Melman, again, Close for the Classroom is Saturday, August 9th. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, they can still use volunteers if you're bilingual. That's all the best on that. And if, in fact, they are out of registration by the time this thing airs, we will let you know. Mike, it's good to see you.
Good to see you. It's always good to be with you, Dan.
You're watching Mike up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Very pleasant morning. It's 68 degrees here in downtown Wenatchee, although it's a little breezy and it's going to stay breezy most of the day today. Right now up at Pangbourne, and when we talk about weather statistics, the day's highs, the day's lows, relative humidity, wind, rain, snow, all that stuff, that's all up at Pangbourne Memorial Airport. That's where the official weather station is because, well, you have to put it somewhere, and it's been there since 1959. So it's 68 degrees. Warmest spot right now in our viewing area is Omak at 70 degrees. Going to be a little bit cooler today than what we saw over the weekend. It was 92 on Saturday. Our afternoon high yesterday was a 90. We'll be more like the mid 80s for the next couple of days. We'll be in the lower 80s on Thursday. There's one weak system that's going to come in Tuesday night. Going to be here on Wednesday. Going to give us a little chance of rain. Going to see a few more clouds with some sunshine as well. It'll be exiting Wednesday night. Thursday is going to be rather cool for August, and then, well, we get hot again. From the National Weather Service, one more look at your forecast. Sunshine and, again, a little on the breezy side today. We'll get up to about 85 degrees. Right now, the wind is out of the northwest at 14 miles an hour, and that's about what it's going to be for the day today. And it's going to be breezy tonight, too. 62 for the overnight low. It will not be dying down, but it will be dying down by the time we get to this time on Tuesday. Very little wind at all in the forecast tomorrow. Very pleasant, mid-80s. We'll take that. 65 for the overnight low Tuesday night. This is when the system comes through. By the time you get up on Wednesday morning, it could be fairly cloudy. Eventually, we'll see some sunshine, but we also can't rule out a raindrop, especially Wednesday night. There's a 30% chance of showers on Wednesday night. 100% would be better because we're in a drought, but that's just what it is. You have to take what it is. Thursday, very pleasant. Lots of sunshine. High of only 81. Our normal high is 89. And then right up until the mid-80s and right back to 90 again by the time we get to the weekend. And that is it for us. Have a good and safe Monday. We will see you tomorrow. Until then, take care and bye-bye.